Yo, what's good? Jesse Brinson. Named after my daddy. I look like my mama, you feel me? It's about 6 in the morning. I typically try to get up early because I got kids. I got a family, so I want to try to get in some work and then get back to the crib and, love my family the best way I can. Um, Man, my thoughts on defunding the police. The definition I hear out there right now for that is to take funds, to unfund, right? D, to take away, right? Fund the police. I don't agree with it. Um, I think if you take away money from that type of institution, an institution I believe was here to be a go between maybe something traumatic or maybe traumatic for a person, you know, and some clarity. Um, you take away from people who feel like they don't have some type of protection. And it could be the simplest thing, all right? We all remember the fire truck or the police who would show up to get the cat out of the tree. For a kid or a grandma or an elderly person who has a pet, love that cat, man, that's traumatic. If you've never lost a pet, when I was 12 years old, I lost a pit bull, Sharpei mix. Man, love that dog. That was traumatic. I never dealt with it like I was supposed to, and it took me a long time to even get our kids some dogs, a dog. So that's traumatic. But some type of medical, emergency response would show up. Sometimes that was the police, and they would help facilitate getting that cat out the tree. What if you feel like something was stolen? You know, you don't, or some people not are able or physical enough to go after the thief. So you want to call and report that, and being that institution has multiple people in that arena, I've always heard the eye in the sky don't lie. So you're able to see, okay, we see a suspect running this way, and there's some downfall to that, right? So there's people who don't have the know-how that I have to know how to protect my home, what to do in certain situations. I don't know the law completely, but I understand a majority of it, and I'm at a place where I could research some things depending on how my community is set up to know how to protect myself in light of something traumatic or threatening to my life. So to take away funds from the police would be, I don't think would be correct. That wouldn't be right. You should know the mindset behind policing, right? It's a bunch of thrill seekers, and that's not bad, right? Man, I would love to be in a high speed chase. I would love to be someone behind a vehicle where I could be chasing or racing a vehicle at a high rate of speed to try to capture someone or win a race, right? And I'm not classifying everybody as the thrill. That's when, some people want to be which is the other thing I was going to say, the hero without the K. There's a bunch of people who took their Boy Scout training literally, that went and helped elderly or helpless people cross the road and did good things for their community. And they want to do that as a profession. And in America, we do that. We pay people for doing good things. That's what you do? That's what you like to do? Yeah, let's pay you to do that. That's what we do in America. You find something you love to do, and we create some type of institution or place or for that person to get paid, right? Teachers, right? And, especially if you are in a kindergarten, first grade, second grade class, to be that type of teacher. I've substituted, and I know that there are teachers who love that job, but they don't get the support they need, but they love it. And so we've created that opportunity, right? And I'm talking about America, not me personally, right? So to defund the police would be crazy. So you may be saying, okay, then what do we do? Well, I say reform. Every day you wake up, you're challenging yourself to be better. I would say there's probably 10% of people in the world, maybe lower, that just is like, you know what? I'm just going to wing it today. I'm just going to do nothing. Unless you're on vacation, I don't think a lot of people think that way. So we always are thinking, how do we get better? Right? How do I get better? What's one step better I could do? Right? We gotta have reform. All right. I'm not gonna go back, but you've seen on video. You've probably had experience the misuse of power by those in authority. I'm a parent. The phrase "because I said so" is a misuse of authority. Your child, well, let me speak for myself. My child deserves me to tell them, hey, this is why you can't do that. And this is the wisdom behind not doing that. And this is how it could harm you or be a consequence for you. Okay? It's misuse of authority. All right? You've seen it. I've seen it. I've been experienced it. Where cops had did things that was being pulled over for being in a rental vehicle in a bad neighborhood. Whether it was situational profiling or black racial profiling. I got pulled over. I didn't do anything illegal except I was in a newer vehicle in a rough neighborhood. That type of vehicle doesn't belong here because of this neighborhood. No one drives a car like that. And so because of that, it's a misuse of power. Now, if I made an illegal turn or ran a light or something, different, But we've seen a misuse of power, whether it has ended in a small ticket or some type of ticket like myself or the death of someone's life. Yes, there's been some things happen. And that is why I say reform. Because we every day need to wake up and be reformed, be transformed. And every institution. I've had bad teachers, have bad coaches. In some way, I know there's plenty of kids. That's one of the things I love to do as coach. I have plenty of kids that would say, well, Coach Jesse did this wrong, or I didn't like this about Coach Jesse, or A, B, and C. And if they, was honest enough to come and tell me, hey, this is A, B, and C that I don't like, I process it and I go, you know what? I'm going to reform. I'm going to transform the way I do these things. And so that needs to be a reform. We got to appreciate every day we wake up. And once there is, in a sense, a guideline of things that needs to be reformed after a couple of years or, a little bit more than that, then you look at it again. Okay, let's reform again. To defund the police, I wouldn't agree. That would be a bad idea. All right, and I think there would be a demographic of people who wouldn't have the protection that they need in light of emergencies or traumatic time. These people are putting their life on the line. I want to add also that these are people who have chosen to put their lives on the line, right? And I think that is one of the greatest acts. As you know, or if you maybe don't know, I am a Christian. I follow Jesus, and that was one of the greatest acts that Jesus did. He sacrificed his life for us all. And for someone to say, okay, I'm going to wake up when they clock in, that I have literally have put my life on the line. That they could, I know every act that they do isn't an act of putting their life on the line. Patrolling a vehicle, patrolling a highway. No. But there are moments. They have high moments than I do, in a sense, to put their life on the line where it could end in death. And I respect that. I honor that. I appreciate that. And so I would never go against the police department or in a sense to say defund the police department when that is supposed to be the heart of their profession. Okay, you've heard it before. You've heard people say it. You've seen it. There's a lot of good police officers. There's a lot of great police officers. All right. I'm gonna close with this. Come from a single parent home. Know my dad. I had a stepdad and other men that my mother had helped to put in my life who. Help me and my brother. I have multiple siblings that are female and male. But speaking to one brother, who's my younger brother, who's twin, his name's Tim. He is currently in law enforcement. His wife is in law enforcement. And I'm not speaking to defend them because he know that I would, if I didn't agree, that there's things he's told me about the police department that I have disagreed against. But I've seen this young man have things happen in his life that he's overcame and worked his way to the point where he is now in law enforcement, right? And I know the type of work ethic, the type of heart that he has, the type of way he raises his family. And he is one example of, I don't know, 20 to 25 people in law enforcement that I know that have this heart, that they're there to protect and serve, to help people, to honor God in the way they live their life as a police officer. All right. Now, I don't know all of them, but I can tell you from this group of, let's say it's 20, there might be 2 that I'm like, you might want to choose a different profession. My point is saying all this, I don't agree with defunding police. I think it's going to affect a demographic of people who aren't as able to protect themselves in a time of an emergency and or a traumatic situation. But I do press for reform. So once again, it's Jay Brinson. All right, named after my daddy, look like my mama. Have a great day. Let that settle on you a little bit. Peace.